Hello everyone, welcome back to Dinkum. This is part 3 of the garden build. So today what we're gonna be working on is the entrance. So it's been a week since my last upload. As you might be able to tell on my voice, I was sick during the past week, so my progress was a little slower. But I was finally able to come back and play the game, get the materials that I needed, and start recording um, the the gameplay. So right now, what we're gonna be doing is working on the entrance. So it took me a moment to try to decide what how do I want it to start, and I know I just needed to start clearing things out. So as you gonna be able to tell, we're gonna start uh, cutting down the trees, taking all the bushes, taking all the paths out. I, at first, I was trying to decide where exactly I want the entrance to start. So that's what you guys are gonna start seeing. I was trying to walk around and deciding, and now we're gonna be removing all the steps from the walk, because I decided instead of having the tiles or something, I'm gonna go a little more of the natural route. So we're gonna use more dirt, more grass, and flowers, and all that for this area. So 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 yeah. So you guys are gonna go see some editing. If I'm going to the crafting table, if I'm gonna go sleep to the next day, I'm gonna do transition, so I don't bore you with the because every time I wake up, I do like the morning chores real quick, so I keep getting the fabric cloth, getting the milk and all that, and going all the way to Franklin, check for new recipes. So I'm gonna be editing all that out, so you will see transitions throughout the videos. There's not many, but you see a few. So throughout the week, I started thinking, what did I want? And one thing I knew I wanted was fountains, but I knew that the fountain was not getting to be centered, not the way that I wanted it. So I decided to use two and offset them to each other, and they're gonna be more moving around. I knew I wanted to use the garden arch, the hedge arch, and I made three. But little down the road, you guys are gonna see that I went down to one. I felt like three was a little too much, and so I went down back to one. So we're gonna be using a lot of flower pots again. We're gonna be using a lot of the flower crates, boxes throughout this video. Grass seeds. We are gonna be using our garden lanterns, and we're gonna be using hedges. Initially, I went and wanted to use the rock paths as well, but at the end of the video, you guys are gonna see that I mostly took the rock path out. The rock path made it feel more square and not wavy or moving, or I don't know. I did try to use it, I just didn't like it as much, and so eventually you guys will see that I went ahead and took it out. So what we're looking at now is I'm trying to measure the distance, so I can have equal distance from the entrance to the fountain and the entrance of from the back side of the garden, the greenhouse, to the fountain. So we're counting, I believe it was 3 squares out, and I already started making some changes. I didn't like where I did the first layout of the flower crate boxes, so we are going to go ahead and we took those off, and we're still trying to decide what we're going to do here. So yeah, this tree, pretty soon I'm going to take down those three, because at first I wanted to keep them, but it just didn't flow and it wasn't working, so I decided to take him off. I wanted the idea first was to try to make like like a bunch little path, and that you can see the fountain, and I wanted to make like mini little gardens with a lot of flowers. So I was trying to figure out how to place all these boxes at first, but then I realized that I didn't have enough space, so I started changing the layout. And I really wanted to use some of the new items of in the game, and I wanted to use the flag pose with all the little flags. And you're gonna see throughout this video that I tried to put that in somewhere, because it's like I finally got the recipe, I wanted to use it, but I never found a good place to put it. It just didn't feel right to put it in this greenhouse area. So we are gonna go ahead and I never ended up using them. I did try, and I kept trying, and I kept going, and just it never fit. It never gave me the feel. When you get that feeling that when you play something and it clicks, it never clicked for me. So yeah, it just didn't work. So here we are still moving the fountains again, trying to find the right spot for them. And yeah, we initially had our first transition. So when that transition happened, I went back and I made a bunch of garden lanterns. I made a couple extra flower beds. I made more rock paths, because initially I did wanted to use the rock paths, as you can see right here. We're gonna start using that. The way that I was trying to do the rock paths was more random. Like I wanted to go one pass to the right, one pass to the left, and I knew I wanted to use some benches where people can sit and look at the fountain, and then I was gonna put the hedges, as you see right here, and the hedges was gonna create like little hallways, and then in different pockets I was gonna put flowers or bushes, maybe a flower pot, different items, but it wasn't feeling right again. You get that feeling and you're like, nope, this is not it. It's not working. In concept, I did like it. I like always, I use a lot of reference pictures from real places, but I think again it's just my area. I made it too small, and now that I got this layout, I don't really want to expand it more than what I have. That's why I decided to go forward instead of expanding sideways. So I'm going forward, and the reference pictures that I have, I do like it a lot. It just didn't work in my area. But if you guys see the idea and you guys can make it work, I think it's a good idea. It just make it more wider than what I have. So then when you put the hedges and then you got your walkway, you can also then have space to put your flower pots, your flower boxes, and I think that will give you multi-level dimension, more depth, more what's the right word? Yeah, I mean more depth. It's just being one thing or flat, you get more dimension. So I decided to replace everything from the hedges and start using the flower boxes. That way, instead of just being just all hedges, then I can do different flowers and have more colors. And as people are walking, you are looking at the flowers and looking at the bushes or anything that at least to bring more color into the area. And then I started placing some garden lanterns in different places just to put some light, and I can see where the light needs to be so we can create more of a mood. Especially that now that's late, so all I can do is decorate, and you guys gonna notice that I do a lot of decorating at night. So I still need light, so I start working on the lights so I can see better, because I don't sleep. A lot of times I do decorate a lot during the night. that way I don't have to start my day, because every time I start my day I gotta start my chores, and it just takes a moment. And so I just do as much as I can during the late time, but you need light. But the benefit of working at night is that you can start working on your light source, and you can start placing your light source, and that way you don't place all the items and then during the day you're done decorating, but then when you go back to night you're like, oh, now it's so dark and I use all the spaces and I still need light. So it's just one benefit of sometimes working in the late time. So right now I was trying to decide where to keep my bulletin board, and in which area, which way to face it. I'm still looking. If I remember right, I think I'm still thinking if I like the rock path, and how do I really want to lay this out, and is it flowing good? Is it moving good? The bulletin board, you guys gonna see, I moved it quite a few times. I couldn't decide on the angle, couldn't decide on the view, and I think I started looking at it from very far away, from the very entrance, and then at the very end, at the end of the build, I think that's when I finally placed it in the way that I really wanted it. So I did a little shortcut, and I knew I wanted benches, so I went ahead and grabbed the ones that I already have made for the previous area, and I just now gotta make 3 more eventually, so I can have him back on the other area. So this layout will change as I start placing now the chairs or the benches to the final. I started looking at all the hedge arch, and there was something about having 3, and I did not like too much. So now we're grabbing some flowers, and we're gonna start placing some flowers so I can start deciding on the sequence, how everything is looking. I eventually grab a lot of my flower pots, as you can see already. I'm gonna have to place another big order so I can replace the ones that I already grabbed. But now we're starting the decoration. We want to see the flow. We want to see the colors. Where do I want the pots? How we want to start laying things out. So yeah, so that's right now. So let's see how that goes. So you can see we are still trying to figure out the light. I'm looking at different angles, high, low, from looking at it from the back of the greenhouse, going back to the front. And this is when I decided, I don't like the layout. It still didn't feel right. It did not feel what I wanted. So what I started deciding is to duplicate the one half to the other half in opposite side. Since I already got the fountain on one side, have the fountain on the other side, well, let's start duplicating the layout. So, and that's when it is starting to feel right, and I'm starting to like it. So now what we're gonna be doing is taking all these other style grass, because I still gonna go with the more darker green grass. So we went ahead and went to sleep, did my chores, came back up, and now we're going to take the grass. We're gonna start taking the rock path out, and we're gonna start duplicating one side to the other. I'll start getting another lamppost so I can imitate from the other side, and we're gonna take all the rock path, because I like the rock path. I do like it. But when I use it, for me, for my taste, when I use it a lot, it just feels like it's too much. It always feels like it's the same layout of rocks. If the rocks would change like more often as you place them together, they just kind of like reshift and look different, then maybe I will use it more. It's just right now it just feels too much for me. And so even though at first I liked the idea, I ended up taking it out. So still trying to place some of the lamps, some of the garden lamps. And this is when I started looking, oh, I'm since I'm imitating a lot from one side to the other, so as you can see, I started putting another iron fence to the other side, so it matches the other side. Here we go again, trying to use the new item. I really wanted to use the new item, but we're gonna keep making all the builds, and I'm gonna come up with something that I can use these items more. I had an idea for like a farmer's market area. I don't know if there's enough items yet to make like a farmer's market, but that'd be a cool place to use like the banners or stuff like that. I don't think I want to use it on John's place. I don't think. Trying to think if there's a good place that I can use it right now in something that already got built, but I don't think so. So yeah, as we keep getting hopefully more items. Oh, if you guys didn't see, James, the developer, he actually put a census. I did that last night. I put in my request, and what would I like to see more? And one thing that I would like to see more was NPC, but no, doesn't have to be building NPC. I would like to see normal NPCs, people that have their own home. They just want to move into the islands, and they also have requests. They may want food, they may want a crop, they may need also furniture for their homes, and that way the world feels more alive. Because I feel like we have nature, and we have wild animals, we got birds flying around. So when you're walking in the wild, it feels like we have life, so it's not boring. But when it comes to people, it's like, it's great. We got all these stores, we got the NPC, and I like it. And I like that those NPC come out when their stores are closed and they're interacting with their surroundings, and I love that. But it's like all these stores for me, for one person in the island. So I would like to see more NPCs. There are normal people. That way we can make like a neighborhood area, and that'd be great. Because I have ideas for like a neighborhood, but it's just me in this. And of course, I'm gonna be making a house for my wife, and I got some friends that might be playing the game soon as well, and they're gonna try to help to gather materials and all that stuff that we need to keep making this island successful and great. Because every time you gotta craft something, you need materials, and the more items James will add, crafting and all that, it's gonna need resources. So yeah. So and I can add all those houses and make a villagers for my other friends that are gonna play, my wife, and we can make something. But I definitely would love to see a normal NPC, kind of like Animal Crossing villagers. They're just walking around themselves. They may go to the store. You may see them at Junk Goods. They're looking items that they would like to have, or clothing store, or at the furniture store, and you can give them, and also to increase their relationships. And yeah, and I think that's for me. That way I can see more movement, more alive than just me in the island. But yeah, but besides the census, I hope you guys also go in and feel it out, so we can keep improving this game. Like I always say, I like this game. I like the freedom. You can make it your world, your own layout. I love all of that. It's the freedom to be creative, and can't be better than that, honestly. Just to have complete freedom to do and to build what you want. Okay, so getting back to the build, as you guys noticed, I was moving and keep adding and taking all pots that I had. Like I said, I need to make a new order for a lot more to replace the ones that I already placed on my greenhouse, because I do want to replace those, because the whole idea is all the ones that I'm taking technically are for sale, and so I am gonna place another order soon, probably the next time I log into the game and place this order. But I was looking at the crafting table, and I was looking, what do I need to make more of the pots, the ceramic pots, and seeing whether I need it. So pretty soon we're gonna have a transition that I'm gonna go and craft a bunch of those so I can start using those and placing them. And this is the part that of the game that takes a moment, you know, is trial and error. You're placing items, you're trying to decide and moving around, see how everything looks, back and forth, trying to figure out, trying to see what moves you, what clicks with you. I don't know how you guys are, when you guys are decorating, how you guys know you guys like what you do, what you did. Is it a feel? Is it something aesthetic? Is it something visually that you noticed that you liked it and it moves you? You know, for me, is every time I'm placing, I don't feel comfortable, and then I place something, and when I look at it from this angle and the other angle, it's like you feel a relief. You feel like, yes, this looks good. Yes, this works. From when I was decorating, I noticed from far away there were 2 other flowers in the wild that spawned. I was like, oh, let me go get those. So you saw me jump off, grab them, came back, and let's start working. So here I wanted to try something else. I was like, I wonder if I raise the fountains, would that look better? Would that look off? Will it look too high? And yeah, it just turned out to be too high, especially if I'm imagining sitting on that bench and you're kind of close to the bench. So, and then on the other fountain I was trying, okay, because I see many builds and many people put them under the ground and then they do decorations around it. So taking inspiration from different people, different YouTubers that I've seen them do this type of build, fountains under the ground. So I left both of them, and as I was working around, then I was trying to decide if I like it. From far away, the one that's up high, I like the look, but if I'm sitting on the bench, it just, then it felt, for me, it felt like it was too high, like, because I want to look at the fountain and I felt like it was just looking too high. Here we're trying to see just ideas that came to my head. Would it look good putting flowers around it, flower pots? And yeah, as you see, it's all trial and error. Here we're trying to put more brick. Maybe that will look, it'll make me feel like, okay, this looks better. But at the same time, again, it just didn't look, it wasn't flowing. It wasn't flowing. Again, if I didn't have the benches for a seating area, then maybe the one that looks up high, I might have liked it. Then I tried to put the bricks around the fountain. That, aesthetically, I started liking it. I did like it a lot. It broke up a lot of the rock. That eventually I did took off all the rock. But to this point, I was still leaving the rock path, and then it made the difference between the grass and the ground, and so you were able to see that I did keep the brick on the floor. I like that. So at the end, I decided to keep the fountains originally, the way, the normal way, let's put it that way, just a normal level right on top of the ground and all that. So here we move the bench to make it, since we're duplicating one side or the other but flip. So I moved the bench. It made it feel better because it was farther away from the fountain, and then I just decorated the other side. uh, right here, my character, of course, it's late, so my character's tired, especially when I start using tools. So so once again, I do decorate a lot during the late part. That way I don't have to restart the day and keep restarting the day over and over, and then I feel like I have to do all my chores, so I can get in close, because I did finally get the recipe for the flagpole, and the other flagpole that I want to use. So I gotta keep making all that fabric so I can eventually have enough, so I can do the other build that I want to do something with those flags. Like I said, I kind of want to make a farmer's market, but I don't know if we have enough. I had to see everything that we have, all the materials, what can you create with that. So here's the fun part. Here we are emptying the crate that I had in the tube, where I had all my materials for this build. So we had to move that. So that took a moment, but in this speed build, it goes kind of quick. So here we are. This is the moment that I decided, you know what, we're going to just keep it the normal way, and we gotta take all that dirt off. The character's tired, gotta try to push him, and pretty soon we'll see the next transition to the next day. But yeah, here we are. This is when I truly decided, and we're gonna keep it normal. I think it flew better. I think eventually I will do something with the fountains on the ground, because for something else it may work very good, but for this one I decided to keep it normal. It's not as creative as other people, but I think for this build that I'm making, it felt right, and that's how I always do my builds. It just, if it feels right, then I'm happy with it. It brings me joy, and I think that's how it should be. And that's what makes everybody's build very unique. Everybody's different. Everybody brings their own flavor. Everybody gets inspiration from one another, and then we tweak it to our own way. So here I was maybe planning to put like a tree, a pine or something, but if I put it right in the middle, I was gonna block my greenhouse. And I thought about it. I really did, because it would have been kind of cool to have like a tree providing shade right in the middle. But when you're walking towards the greenhouse, I just didn't want to block my greenhouse. So I went back and I put the flower boxes back in. Here's when I noticed, I was like, man, I still got the other two arch. So I decided to make like the mini entryways, for all the different sections. And later on, you notice that I kind of fixed them, because I noticed that they were not to equal distance, and some people, sometimes I don't mind, and then sometimes if I notice that, I'm like, oh no, it's not aesthetically, it just doesn't feel right. So I'll remove them, because since everything here is just imitating one side to the other, and then you got the middle, and then you just duplicate whatever you add in one side, you add it to the other side. It's just on the opposite side. So here we're looking, we're checking, we just keep decorating, keep moving, trial and error. And one thing that I've learned from many of the different YouTubers, especially like Console Kato, Horrible Gaming, Minute Crossing, it's just so many of them, is you just gotta try. Don't give up. Just take time. If you need to stop for the day, come back the next day, look at it again, and don't get over frustrated. You never have to feel like you need to finish the day that you're working on. Sometimes you're working for 3 hours, sometimes you're working for 3 days trying to figure out your area. Sometimes you need a complete week to do the area. There's a lot of great people out there making builds. Take inspiration from them, put your own twist to them. A lot of them love when you imitate completely their builds, and they love it when you guys post them and all that. So imitate the build, make it, and then make it your own, you know. So here we are. This is finally, like I told you guys, this is when I decided, you know what, I just don't like the rock path. I just wish it did really change every time you put more rocks together. Like at least the sequence of the rocks will look different, so it just doesn't look like just a pattern of the same thing. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel too natural for me. And here I was like, well, I'm gonna do it all grass, but then it was too green and I didn't like it. It's just too green. It doesn't feel like there's a walkway. So we are gonna go to sleep, come back, I did all my stuff, and because I knew I'm gonna dig out a lot of the grass, so I needed to be day so we can have energy again, that it will last. You're gonna see me carrying some of the glowing mushroom. I had an idea like, oh, maybe I can do, because now with the update we can plant the little mushroom, and they're little and they glow and be something cool at night. And you'll see me try maybe a couple times, but I never put him down. I never found a place that it will feel right, that it could go. I may still use them. I kind of would like to, just a few, maybe 2 or 3, not too much. I don't want to put them all over the place. It's just finding that key spot that will look good. So right now I'm checking if any of my flower duplicated in some of the flower pots over here, and nothing duplicated just yet, so I wasn't able to keep filling up my flower boxes on the front. Checking to see over here if I have anything left over from when I gathered all the materials for the first for the part 2 of the build, and I use some of them, but there's always more yellow. I feel like there's always so much yellow variety on the flowers, and I'm waiting for my purples and my bluish purple and more reds to grow, so it's more colorful with the greens and the yellow and then the other colors. So here we go. I'm trying to figure out, okay, I want to use this, I really want to do it. There's so many cool things in the new update, and I want to use it, but nothing is standing out. So I just went ahead and finished the hedge right there, since I took all the flower pots that I had over there, so that way it just didn't look bare. It's just put the hedges, so at least it looks like it's a fence right now. I think most likely there's gonna be a part 4 on this build. I think I'm gonna do something not too busy, but the first section when you go up the stairs, and that first I want to make it more like this section that you're looking at right there right now. I think that's when I'm gonna do part 4, and it may be a quicker video. It's just gonna be more subtle. I want to finish it, maybe put a little sitting area that is more normal than the greenhouse deck sitting area. Maybe a couple more lights, couple more, just something in there. And I think we're gonna then, when you go up the stairs, I think we're gonna work on that entrance as well. I started making in the cliff a little brick top, and we may gonna put some flower pots, and maybe we put a sign showing like different of the plants, like if you come this way, this is where the store's at, this is where you want to come in. So that might be part 4. I was pretty sure it was gonna be just a 3-parter, but yes, we are gonna do a part 4. It might be simple, but I do feel like it needs to click. It's just, this entrance is so good now, and I love it. I love the flow. I love the way it looks from far away all the way to the back. Everything's flowing. And this is when I started fixing my archway, and now everything is equal distance, and that makes me feel good. Even looking at it right now, I'm like, okay. So here we are, we're looking at it again. We are looking how everything looks from far away. So I decided we're gonna clean this out. We're gonna put sidewalk right here. Putting a little bit of light, and we're doing some of the final touches. I am right now, and this is where I was putting more lights. I think eventually I do put more flower pots here, and what I did feel, I started thinking, yeah, this area needs to be worked on. It's just too bare, too normal. It needs something, and we are gonna work on it. Oh, and right there, you see that little area right there? I want to work something there too, and that's what we were talking about a little earlier. So yeah, it's been good. I enjoyed this build a lot. This is where I finally finished the final touch, and took the flower pot. We're gonna make all the boxes. Here we're moving the bulletin board for the final time, just to make it work, because I do like it for the way it looks from the very beginning all the way to the back, and at night it looks really nice because it just has that little extra light. And yeah, here we're doing the final looks, final touches. I know I'm getting ready to stop for the day. I wanted to put this little toy somewhere in here, like a little hidden, but didn't work. I didn't feel it. Didn't know where to put it. I think I was just trying to push it, so I went ahead and put it back over there. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this part 3. Sorry it took a while. I was sick all last week. My voice is getting better finally. But yeah, I just was playing a lot of Dinkum on the side, but not working on the build, just gathering resources, gathering materials, checking Franklin for all the new recipes. Oh, and I'm excited, I finally got the second part of the cobblestone for the black, so that's gonna be a nice, because I'm gonna be replacing a lot of my roads or my walk and making it stand out more. I wanted to see how that looks, so we'll see that probably in another video, more just for fun, just to see how the island change when you do that pathing. And I'm gonna keep checking Franklin every day to get the items, all the new items, so we can keep building this island more and more every single day. But thank you guys for watching this video, for taking inspiration, for just watching it, listening to me. It's fun to make this. It's fun to decorate and talking to it, and re-watching it as I'm talking, and also getting even more idea as I'm watching it. But yeah, we're gonna do a part 4. Part 4 is gonna be coming. I still need to fill the rest of the flowers. I still need to put more flowers in the area we just finished. It's just I didn't have the seed for the bushes. I gotta go hunting, go find more bush seeds, more of the other stuff. But yeah, but here we are. This is the final look for now. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, we'll see you in part 4. Bye.